Hello, good morning, everyone. I hope you are okay. So today's lesson is a recorded one since I will be at school and the line there is so terrible that I'm afraid that I I'll be lagging or you won't be able to connect or won't be able to connect and teach you. Okay. So today's lesson is about writing an email. Okay, so why is writing an email a skill? Because it is one of those um, lifelong s- lifelong skills that you would use later in life also, not just in schools. Okay, so a lot of students or graduates are very weak at writing email, and it has been a concern for future employers that our graduates are not able to communicate well through email. Okay, so you have to keep in mind that there are a lot, like many types of email. Okay, and depending on how you phrase it or how you talk about it, okay, it will affect how people see you. Okay, um for example, if you're writing to your company or to your boss, okay, it could affect whether you are promoted or not. Okay, since they judge you based on your skills to communicate, and um like if you're having problem, okay, to express yourself, that means like it might be connected to your intelligence or your professionalism and your competency. It seems unfair. Okay, it seems unfair, but that is how it is. Today's email writing, is not about business writing. Okay, you're not applying for a job, so we will be doing instead um, like a more informal version of email writing. But what these emails have in common is these three things. Number one, you have to make it clear why you are writing. Be friendly and use informal language. Okay, do not do not use texting language. For example, this kind of spelling, and LOL. Okay, and many other things. Minimize the use of emoji unless you know this person very, very well. Now, the plan would be you must have a greeting, at least paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, and signing off. Okay, when it's informal, you can use hi, hello, and dear. Begin with polite phrases for your first paragraph. And thank the reader for his or her email or ask about why they are writing. Okay, how are you? I hope you're well. Things like that. Okay, second paragraph and third paragraph are information. Okay, if you can't ask everything in the first paragraph, then you continue to the third paragraph. Then you have to sign off. Don't forget you're signing off. Either you use see you soon, keep in touch. That's all for now. Write back soon. Talk to you later. Okay. Now, informal language, when we're talking about informal language, we're not talking about um, like very stoic, very serious language only. It's not like what I'm saying is it's not like this. Formal versus informal. Okay, it doesn't mean that formal is all business, informal is all fun. Okay, because informal also means you need to be polite. Both actually. Okay. It's just the difference is the choice of word. Some words are more suitable for an informal setting. Some words are more suitable for formal setting. Okay, we'll go through the samples later. Now, when it's formal English, we use it when we are writing essays for school, cover letters to apply for jobs, or emails and letters at work. Okay, so look at this. Emails are put under formal English. That means you need to be using formal language. But there are emails that you write to friends, or you have children and children or relatives, okay? But that means you can't use formal English for this group of people. So when you're writing email for this group of people, you have to balance between like for super formal language and informal language. Now, verbs, okay? These are examples of verbs in the informal and formal language, okay? When you say things like I want to say sorry, okay? This is considered as informal. The formal version of it would be I want to apologize. Okay? Something go up, something increases. Something go down, something decreases. Okay? So you can see from the example that it's clearly about choice of word. For the informal part, it's more towards phrasal verb. Okay? It's a combination of two words. Okay, one would be, you see this one, up, down, up, at, out, about, off. Okay, these are all put under prepositions. Okay, but this one are verbs. Okay, so if verb plus prepositions, those are called as phrasal verb. There are a few types of phrasal verb. One of them would be verbs plus preposition. But formal language, okay, as you can see, are not phrasal verbs. They are specific words, specific and precise words for a specific setting. Okay, these are under verbs. Okay, here are more examples of informal verbs versus formal verbs. Okay, now these are transitions. Okay, informal versus formal. Transitions are words that the function is to transition between idea 1 and idea 2. So basically from paragraph 1 to paragraph 2, first sentence to second sentence, like that. Okay, so these are small words that gives your writing smoothness, if that makes sense to you. Okay, so like for example, anyways and nevertheless. Okay, so anyways would be like a more common phrase instead of nevertheless. People don't usually use nevertheless in regular setting. Okay, these are the ones that you always use, plus, but, so, also, ASAP, okay, in the meantime, I think, in the end, okay. As compared to moreover, however, therefore, thus, additionally, as soon as possible, acceptable, in the interim. It's not some, like formal language would be choice of words that is for very specific settings, and words that you don't actually use when you're talking to your friends, like when you are in a more friendly manner. Informal words are usually very friendlier, sounds friendlier and more intimate. All right. Now, emphasis words, okay, informal and informal. Emphasis words are words that puts emphasis on things, on one idea. For example, lots of versus much. Tons of. It sounds really playful, doesn't it? Large quantity of. That's like large quantity of, like very business. Okay. There are also letter expressions, okay, that uses informal and formal language. For example, if you say, you're talking to a friend, you say, "Hi, Robert," okay, versus "Dear Sir" or "Madam." Okay. If you get an exam question and it says, write to your parents, and you say, "Hi, Robert," you are wrong. You should be saying, "Hi, Daddy" or "Mommy." Okay, "Hi, Mom," "Hi, Dad." Either these two. Okay, but if you were to write to your parents, okay, "Dear Sir" or "Madam," you would also be wrong, because these are your parents. Why would you call them as if they are strangers? Okay, so be careful of your choice of word. Let's continue. Abbreviations. Okay, abbreviations, there are two types, uh, informal and formal. For formal setting, you don't abbreviate things. You don't make it shorter. You don't use the acronym. For informal writing, you can, but it's very limited. Like ASAP, you can use. TV, you can use. Photo, you can use. Cell and net, you can use. But in Malaysia, students only really use cell and net. What they use would be phone, which is referring to the handphone, okay, and just write the internet in full. Okay, I've never seen students call the internet as the net. Okay, of course, the word okay itself, OKAY, you can use this for informal. Definitely cannot use for formal. Okay, there are also certain slangs that you can use. Okay, like kids instead of children, bad instead of negative, good instead of positive, really big instead of considerable. Now, some tips on informal language: do not use it. Um, Do not use taboo vocabulary under informal language. Okay, taboo vocabulary includes vulgar words, okay, or slang. Because this is, you need to be polite, and a lot of people do not like vulgar words or slang. Okay, the problem with slang is only very like number of people who understand, who who knows about the meaning of the slang is very little. It's usually between a group of friends only. Okay. Now, when is email not an appropriate form of communication to use? Well, when number one, your message is long and complicated and requires additional discussion. So this one should be a meeting instead of an email. All right. Number two, information is highly confidential. Now, email is never private. Remember this. Because as you know, because I know you also do it, people tend to screenshot things. Okay? So, it's like some website you cannot screenshot. Okay? But it doesn't stop people from screenshotting it by using another device. Okay? So, that's why if you don't want anything highly confidential to leak out, do not write it in an email, okay, or on the internet for the time being. Okay, so if you, for example, if you are another reason, not to use email, for example, if you are angry, okay, or emotionally charged, means you're angry, you're upset, you want to curse, do not write anything online. Okay, because the tone of message could be easily misunderstood, and a lot of people go viral because of this. So be careful on the internet. Okay, now always think about who is your audience. Okay, um, some people regard email as a rapid and informal form of communication, a way to say hello, to ask a quick question. But there are a lot of people who thinks email is just another convenient way to send a formal letter. So you have to think about your audience. Okay. let's review this email. This is an actual email. Okay, hey John. Okay, do you know what the assignment is about? Can you help me? M. So mysterious. So we know the receiver is someone called John. The sender is someone called M. Okay. Now, what do we know about M, this mysterious person? Okay, this mysterious sender. Number one, M and John could be best friends or acquaintances, very close acquaintances. Okay, could be maybe not best friends, but maybe friends. Okay, they might be taking the same um, subject in college or school. Um, Maybe they are in the same class, but confirm they are in the same uh, class. No, I mean they are taking the same subject because of this word. What the assignment is about. We don't know what the assignment is about because we were not there. But M is sure John would know, most probably because John went to class, but M didn't. Okay, or that M doesn't understand what the assignment is about. That maybe M came to class but still doesn't understand what the assignment is about. Okay, that's what I meant. Okay, can you help me? So we know that M and John is closer than acquaintances because of this one. You don't write like use you, okay, unless you know this person who is going to receive your message very well. Okay, you must always spell it out. Okay, so remember what I said about how people can perceive you, can judge you based on what you write. This is what I meant. Okay, now the more assumptions an audience okay, make about somebody or an email, the higher the risk of being misinterpreted. So you must be very, very clear on the get-go. Okay, how do you view your audience? How do you consider them? Like, who is your audience? Number one, you have to know who is your audience. Is the reader your teacher? Is it a boss, a friend, a stranger? How well do you know them? How would you talk to them in a social situation? Okay, what do you want your audience to think or assume about you? All right, for your question, although the reader is me, your teacher, you have to follow the question. Okay, we'll get more into about the question later. Okay, now linking words and phrases. Now linking words, just like translation, it helps move the story from one point to another in a smooth way. Okay, basically when I say in a smooth way, we're talking about coherence of the paragraph and the sentences. Okay, if you want to talk about sequence, use this type of words. We want to talk about result, this is the example. Emphasis, this is the example. Addition, this is the example. Reason, this is the example. Example, this is the example. Contrast and comparison. Okay, now contrast pula. Now compare and contrast. Okay, um, if you are comparing something, that means you are looking for what is the same. Okay, if you are contrasting something, you are looking for what is different. So how you use this would be idea 1, idea 2. Okay, what if you're looking for what is different, is idea 1 versus idea 2. If comparison is idea 1 equal to idea 2. So you talk about idea 1, Similarly, then you talk about idea 2, or likewise idea 2, like that. Okay, like I was saying, you can use abbreviation. AM, PM is okay for using informal language, informal email. Okay, AM, PM is acceptable. Mrs., Miss, Mrs., Mr., Miss. Why is got two Mr. Doctor? Ordinal numbers 10th, 40th. Okay, now talking about ordinal number, the regular numbers are called cardinal numbers, which is 1, 2, 3, 1000. Ordinal means there is a sequence. Okay, first, second, third. Now when do you use the letter, when do you use the number, sorry, and when do you use the spelling of this? Now if the spelling is, doesn't matter if which part, if the spelling is two words, don't use the number. Okay, for example, 101. Okay, so these are four words, don't use 101. Okay, because 101 is considered as one word for your SPM exam. Okay, reminder, in English for your SPM, there is no such thing as, oh, proper noun, one word. Nothing. Okay, for example, proper noun, my name, Shireen Christopher. You would think this would be considered as one word. No, this is considered as two words. Okay, so like address is not considered as one, it's considered as how many words are there in the address. So that means for every word or number or letter you write, that will be considered as one word. So remember, there are limitations to your writing. All three writings have limitation. That means for email, you have 80 words, right? You cannot write more than that. So you have to be very careful and be thrifty in using your words. Okay, parts of the language, e.g., etc., i.e., countries, USA, UK, UAE, addresses, RD for road, avenue, street. Okay, all these are acceptable in informal language. How to address people in English. So we were just talking about it. Mr. is pronounced as Mr. Mrs. is pronounced as Mrs. Miss is pronounced as Miss. Ms is pronounced as Ms. I'm using this one. Okay. Because people cannot tell whether I am married or not unless they ask me directly. Mr. is also the same way. No one knows if you're married or single unless you are asked directly. Now, Mrs. is specifically for married women. Miss is specifically for single women. Okay, you also have to understand that according to English convention, all this title must be used with the surname or family name of a person. Okay, if you are Chinese, so your surname would be your Xiang. Okay, for example, Tan, and then your name here. Okay, so you use sir when it's an adult male of any age, but must be adult. When it's adult, about 20 something. Ma'am is for adult female, but it's not American English. Okay, but still can use. Madam is adult female. Okay, more to UK use, which we should be using. Mr. plus last name is any man. Mrs. plus last name, usually that last name is the husband's last name. Ms. and the last name is for married or unmarried women, common in business. Okay, Ms. Miss. Okay, plus last name is an unmarried woman. Doctor plus last name. Okay, but some doctors go by first name also. Professor plus last name is used in a university setting. Now here's some writing tips. When you are writing to someone for the first time, use formal address because you don't know them. If you can't find the last name, use a generic title such as Sir or Madam. That's why you say, Dear Sir or Madam. Okay. The respondent may address you by your first name and sign off with their first name. Now, based on how they reply your first letter for your first email, you address them as such. Again, this is some extra information. E.g. stands for exempli gratia is Latin for the sake of example. So you use this if you want to show examples. I.e. stands for id s. I.e. It means that is. Okay? Etc. 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 The first three letters. Okay? Is Latin for and the rest. Okay? So if you're making a list. So let's go through the email checklist. Okay? Have you followed the plan? Remember? Greeting, paragraph 1, 2, 3, and sign off. Don't forget signature here. Have you used grammatically correct form? Have you checked for spelling and punctuation mistake? Did you use informal language such as short forms of verb? Is your writing style suitable for the situation and reader? Did you use linking verbs? So you need to have all this in your email. Now, for your email, what is most important is reading the task carefully. If you misunderstood the task, what happened is you lose marks from there. Okay? If you hurry through the details, you could answer incorrectly, which is a big problem because emails are the easiest part of the essay. You get like 3 marks because the level is just A2 to B1. Okay, Form 5 should be B1, B1 plus. That's why your textbook is called B1 plus. Okay, so the details are there to help you understand important points. Okay, what is the situation you are in? What is the reason you are writing? What is the topic you have to write about? And the type of language you should use. Okay, now this is the exercise from your textbook. Okay. Read this writing task and answer the questions below it. You have received an email from an English-speaking friend. I have to write about personal relationships for a class project. Can you help by telling me about your most important relationship? Who is it with? What is he or she like? I don't want to be nosy, but can you also explain why the relationship is important to you? Write soon, Mary. Okay, so write your email in 140 to 190 words. So you see the limit is very short, but you need to write so much. Okay, now what is the situation? Who has sent you the email? Mary. What does she have to do? Write about personal relationship. Oh, sorry. Write about personal relationship. Why are you replying? Are you replying to tell her news? To give her information? To give her advice? You are replying because you want to give her information. What is the main thing you have to write about? Telling her your most important relationship. What points do you have to include? Who is it with? What are they like? Why is the relationship important to you? What relationship do you have with the person you are writing to? Personal. Personal relationship. It could be like personal relationship could be boyfriend, girlfriend, or relatives. Okay. Is a formal or informal writing style best? Informal. Why? Because you are writing to Mary, who is your friend. Okay. So this is the question that you have to do. You have received an email from your English speaking friend. That means any other language besides English, your friend will not be able to understand. Our teacher has asked us to prepare a talk on what young people in different countries do when they are not at school. Can you help by writing and explaining what it's like in your country? What do young people do at home? Where do where do they go out and what do they do there? Thanks, Billy. Write your email. So now you are writing to Billy, who is your friend. Okay, write your email between 140 and 190 words. Okay, based on what you were asked just now. What is the situation? Who is this? This is a friend who needed to prepare a talk on what young people in different countries do. So in this case, in Malaysia. You are representing Malaysia. Do when they are not at school. Okay. You need to explain what it's like in your country for teenagers. What do young people do at home? Okay. Especially now during the pandemic. Where do they go out and what do they do there? Okay. So it's like 140 to 190 words. So answer this in Schoology. Okay, thank you class and happy Chinese New Year. 恭喜发财. I'll see you after the Chinese New Year holiday.